exactly. But yeah.
So we'll start with our first story. Dubai residents are noticing that indoor mask policy is being taken lightly. Now, since the lockdown, residents have been wearing their masks indoors and outdoors, but on February 26th of this year, it was announced that wearing masks outdoors is optional. And we're here to tell you that the mask rule hasn't changed and it's still mandatory to wear masks indoors in the UAE. But somehow, many aren't even wearing masks indoors.
I can actually vouch for this. And Twitter is buzzing with this right now. So residents are actually sharing their confusion on the mask wearing situation, with one user saying, "It's the first time I've been to the mall in a long time, and the mask mandate just does not exist here," which is fine, but can we have an official announcement on this?
So that was what the tweet read, but and others reported that securities at the doors of the malls and within the venue are not even reminding residents to wear the mask inside.
Yeah, so a quick reminder, guys, that the 3,000 dirham penalty for the failure to wear masks in public places is actually still in place. So let's just be a little more careful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but honestly, I think you've witnessed this too. I've seen
100%.
We both went to the mall like separately last week, and we both saw this. Like, people were just not wearing masks.
Yeah, they really weren't. Like, I walked in and I just felt like I was, if anything, like I was a little bit absurd for like having the mask on, you know what I mean? I was looking around me, some people had it on, some people didn't. It's not like a complete, you know, no one had it on, but it was confusing, and there was no strict, like, any sort of like enforcement in place to say like, okay, yes, put it on, take it off. So it was odd.
Honestly, I don't even blame the securities at this point, because people, like, there's so many of them just not wearing it. So how many would they go up to and go like, wear your mask, and that to every single day?
Yeah.
It's not like a one-day thing. It's like every day they might be seeing like hundreds of people, and then how many do you go up to?
And I mean, the thing is, we're all adults, right? Like, we can all make informed decisions. We don't need to have someone policing us, being like, put your mask on, and then like 5 seconds later you just pull it back down.
Yeah.
I feel like you just need to be responsible for yourself at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like after 2 years of like having it on and just having it be so diligent, getting used to it, and like having to like figure out the like eye smiling behind the mask and the like, just, you know, all of that, it's strange to have it off, especially indoors.
You're right. It's like your face just feels so bare.
Absolutely.
No, like it's like you're not wearing any clothes. It just feels, I don't know, your face feels naked.
Yeah.
But I would start off by, first of all, making sure that staff, you know, mall staff, airport staff, they are following the mask wearing mandate.
Yeah.
Because you go into a lot of stores, and even like the employees working at the stores aren't wearing their masks.
Yeah.
And then that sets it off, like, you know, oh, the employees are not wearing it, then I guess it's okay if we're not wearing it. But I mean, with COVID cases rising, it's just, I mean, you would want to take the precaution for yourself and your loved ones, and don't want to catch COVID or like any kind of variation of the COVID, because there's so many Delta, Omicron. Yeah, it's just, you don't know which variant you'd catch. So you just want to take that precaution always.
Yeah. And then we're just, you know, like, we just have to be careful, because like it's not, you know, this is still kind of like an ongoing thing. As much as like, obviously it's so important for us to go back to like normal life and live our day to day, and obviously that's like what's being encouraged and everything, but just be mindful of it, I think, especially when you're like in a situation with a crowded room of people, or you're like in a, you know, a taxi cab where the driver is wearing a mask. You know, I think it's respectful to have one on. And
very true, very true. And like you said, like the pandemic isn't over, you know, it's still there. But would you, I mean, if the cases were still like, you know, pretty still, would you think of not wearing a mask indoors and just take it off if like you saw everyone else doing it?
I think it would really need to be a gradual thing. I think definitely the fact that it's like loosened outdoors is a blessing in the summer. Like, let's be quite honest with that. But I think indoors will just really have to be gradual. I think in some instances, I would still feel more comfortable wearing it. But there are some instances where I would be a little more lenient.
Yeah, like I would not want to wear it in the cinemas.
Yes, I agree. But like, let's say if you're like, you know, Dubai Mall, rush to the like fountains outside or whatever it is, yes, I feel more comfortable wearing that.
You would wear a mask, okay.
So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Just depends. I think, you know, do what you're comfortable with, but also just be respectful.
You got that right.
In conclusion.
Feel that.